Hello everyone. Today I'd like to talk about something I studied in my social studies class. We played an interesting game in the class, and learned some important things from it. In the game, we made 8 groups of 5, and each group was given some cards. On each card, there was a picture of different foods, like fish, eggs, or pumpkins. We had to make dinner with those cards. When we finished talking about the dinner we would make in our group, Miss Ito, the social studies teacher, said, "Now, look at the other side of each card." There were some stars there. She told us to see how many stars there were on the cards we used to make the dinner, and asked, "Do you know what those stars mean?" No one answered. Then, Miss Ito said to us, "The stars show how much CO2 is emitted by transportation that brings the food on the card to Osaka. For example, pumpkins brought by truck have more stars than pumpkins brought by train, because a truck emits more CO2 than a train. Also, pumpkins brought a long way have more stars than pumpkins from Osaka. CO2 is emitted when food is brought to Osaka." I knew that the emission of CO2 is becoming a big problem for the world, but I didn't think about transportation when I bought food. At supermarkets, I was just interested in the prices of the foods. But after this class, I thought, we should know where the food we buy comes from, and how it is brought to our table. Of course, transportation is not the only things to emit CO2. Look at chart 1. You see 19% of all the emission is from transportation, but factories emit more. More than 50% is emitted by factories and transportation. I am surprised to know homes also emit a lot, and it is more than the emission from power plants. But this means we can do some things at home to reduce the emission of CO2. Now, I'm going to tell you about some of the ways to reduce the emission of CO2. I found them on the internet. Do you go shopping with your family by car? If you don't use a car, it reduces the emission of CO2. For example, if you use your bike to go to and come home from a supermarket that is 1 kilometer away, it can reduce 180 grams of CO2. How long do you take a shower? If you take a shower for 10 minutes, try to make it 9. The difference is only 1 minute, but it can reduce 74 grams of CO2. Turning off lights and watching TV for a shorter time are also easy things to do. Look at chart 2. It shows how much CO2 you can reduce by doing different things. When I learned about the CO2 problems in my social studies class, I first thought they were too big for a high school student. But now I know they aren't. Each of us can do only small things. But I think there is something we can do to make our future better. We can make a difference if we try.